Part 1. Flat, concave, spherical, hollow, and expanding Earth. Everything solved in catastrophe. The 100% correct working model of everything and the coming worldwide catastrophe. With 100% certainty, a worldwide catastrophe is headed our way. It can only happen on a certain date and in a particular year. Civilization will end from this catastrophe and then be rebuilt. I know because our true history shows it has happened dozens of times. The New World Order is not what everyone thinks it is. I will explain everything so you can prepare for the catastrophe and the New World Order/Golden Age that will follow. Time is becoming very short, and we will explain who, what, where, when, why, and how. All your questions will be answered through my 100% correct working model of everything. Here's a picture of St. Peter's Square at the Vatican, the world's most accurate and important sundial to monitor the sun and time, the real doomsday clock. After I teach you everything and what the sun really is, then you will know the only time the catastrophe can happen. Why does the Vatican have a sundial? It lets the elect/controllers know when the days are being shortened. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Matthew 24:22, King James Version. To begin, you must understand you know nothing. We all were wrong. You must humble yourself completely to know the truth. Then you can attain true wisdom. You must unlearn what you have learned. Yoda. The eyes can't see what the mind doesn't know. Unknown. The plane you live on is flat. The world it sits in is concave and expanding. The structure it resides in is spherical and hollow. The Holy Grail, the one and only true answer to everything in your world. We will explain it all to you. I didn't want to be first, I wanted to be 100% correct. No one on YouTube is even close to figuring it all out. The scarier part is neither are the controllers. I'm an inventor, and I've been working on the correct model of everything for nearly 40 years. This one simple model is the key to all knowledge and wisdom. I have partnered up with Mia, and we're going to tell you the real truth. No theories, no beliefs, just the facts of your world solely based on real science and your true history. We will teach you everything through the videos on these channels. Mia's new pair of glasses, my new pair of glasses, and Brian Austin Lambert 33. All 30 to 50 videos will be around 3 to 5 minutes, short, concise, and simple. The real answers are simple, so no need for complicated false answers like the controllers do. Doubt us now, but you will know it is the truth when we are finished. To navigate the YouTube pitfalls, we will not show any video clips or play any music. We will provide all the links to any and all resources needed to help you see the complete truth. Every word and image I show is important and used for a very deliberate purpose. To gain the truth, you must fully understand everything I show you. The truth is simple once you know it, but getting there can be tough. There is much to learn, so we will post new videos as soon as possible. Subscribe, tell your friends, let everyone know about the truth and the channels. Part 2. Flat, concave, spherical, hollow, and expanding Earth. Water and the flat plane. I seek the truth because my curiosity exceeds my desire to prove myself right. There's more to this world than you think. Unknown. Occam's razor. No more things should be presumed to exist than are absolutely necessary, i.e., the fewer assumptions an explanation of the phenomenon depends on, the better the explanation. William of Occam. Words and definitions are crucial for understanding the truth. Synonyms for horizon: flat, level, plane, smooth, even, straight, parallel. Definition of sea level: having a flat or even surface. Called sea level for a reason. It is level and flat. The controllers have always lied to you, but water has never lied to anyone. Ever. The surface of still water is flat and will always be flat. Water will always fill the container it is in. Water will always seek its own level. Water cannot lie. It's flat. Over 70% of the surface of the Earth is water. Water is the most important proof of the shape and structure of your planet. This is what really happens to water on a spinning or rotating ball. Water will always tell you the truth if you are willing to see and listen. The answers are easy to see if you ask the right questions. Ask any pilot how they account for the curvature of the Earth. They do not account for the curvature. It's simple because there is no curvature, up or down. The surface of the plane is flat. Always flat. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water in a cup, it becomes a cup. You put water in a bottle, it becomes a bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes a teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Bruce Lee. Diamagnetism of water is extremely important for understanding the truth. This is an image of a strong magnet in a bowl of water. Magnetic fields repulse water. Electromagnetism is the one and only force in the cosmos. I will do separate videos on diamagnetism and electromagnetism at a later date. You have to understand the structure of the world you live on. The flat surface to the plane is the key to the puzzle. You can't play chess without the chessboard. When you accept the true flat structure, then the other pieces of the puzzle will fall into place. Water shows you the truth about the flat plane you live on. There is a lot more to the overall structure, but understanding the flat surface is an absolute crucial starting point for the truth. Part 3: Flat, concave, spherical, hollow, and expanding Earth. The motionless, fixed, and stationary plane. Once you start speaking your truth, you can't stop. It demands to be screamed in every aspect of your life and will not remain hidden. Once you have been awakened, you can never go back to sleep. Unknown. The Holy Grail: motionless, stationary, and fixed. A bowl of soup, the best analogy of how the Earth's surface takes its form. The bowl confines the matter and liquids. The broth is akin to the sea level of the oceans, and the food akin to the continents. Why do the controllers love to make things more complicated than they are? Because there is no money in the truth. The simple answer to the truth would make their religious, educational, and other institutions pointless and profitless. The truth could be taught in a single year to an 11-year-old child. No need for 13 to 21 years of indoctrination in schools. Science: an experiment that is observable and repeatable. Theoretical science is not science. It is junk and you can throw it out with the trash. There has never been any repeatable or observable science experiment that confirms any movement of the Earth, but yet they feed everyone this garbage, like in this image of our solar system traveling through space. Current accepted heliocentric model: Earth spins 1,000 miles per hour. Earth revolves around Sun 67,000 miles per hour. Sun revolves around Milky Way galaxy 514,000 miles per hour. Universe expanding 1.3 million miles per hour. And yet, water can be completely motionless. Remember, water does not lie, yet the controllers always have. The Earth does not spin. The oceans are one of many proofs. If the Earth were spinning, water would flow from the polar regions on the axis of spin towards the equator. Then the water would fly off the spinning object at the equator, just like in this picture. Fluid dynamics, the flow of gases and liquids while in movement. The waters and atmosphere of the Earth would not stay in place if the Earth were traveling in 4 different directions at 4 different incredible speeds. Fluid dynamics clearly shows us that the Earth is not moving at all. It is motionless, fixed, and stationary. But so is all matter in our cosmos. I will explain in a later video. Yes, it really is this simple. KISS. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Complicated theories and fancy mathematics or common sense. You decide. 1 Chronicles 16:30 King James Version. Fear before him, all the earth. The world also shall be stable, that it be not moved. Psalms 104:5 King James Version. Who laid the foundations of the earth, that it should not be removed forever. To all the geocentrists out there, no, we are not the center of the cosmos. We are one small disk of many multitudes. I will explain more in a future video. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Every cowboy. We can only show you the truth, but it is up to you to accept it. Part 4. Coriolis effect explained. Bullets and spinning objects, the Magnus effect on the flat Earth. How does our model correctly account for the Coriolis effect on bullets and long-range shooting? Again, the answer is simple, and the controllers got it wrong. They officially call it the Coriolis effect, but it is not. Here's a diagram of the official explanation of the Coriolis effect on bullets. The apparent deflection of a body in motion with respect to the Earth and caused by the rotation of the Earth. Deflecting right in the northern hemisphere and deflecting left in the southern hemisphere. The official explanation is complete rubbish. The Earth does not spin, rotate, or move. The Earth is motionless, fixed, and stationary. The Holy Grail, a cup or bowl. We will explain more in future videos. Rifled barrels are used to create the spin of the bullet. The spin stabilizes the bullet in flight, but also creates the deviation from the expected path of flight. Here's a diagram of what happens to a bullet in a rifled barrel and then a smooth bore barrel. The real answer, the Magnus effect. As the ball is spinning, there's friction created on one side, and then the air flows freely on the other side. Magnus effect, the force exerted on a rapidly spinning cylinder or sphere moving through air or another fluid in a direction at the angle to the axis of spin. This force is responsible for the swerving of balls when hit or thrown with spin. A spinning rifle bullet, Magnus effect, not Coriolis effect. The Magnus effect on spinning rifled bullets work the same as spinning balls in forward motion. Again, like always, the answers are simple. Another diagram of air flowing over a spinning ball. Examples of the Magnus effect: baseball pitches, curve, slider, fastball; tennis, topspin, slice, drop shot; golf, draw, fade, cut, slice, etc. Sideways spin or a spiral action will deviate left or right, as in a football or rifled bullet, depending on the rotation of spin. A front to back or back to front spin will deviate up or down. Think top spin or backspin on a tennis ball. Great video demo on the Magnus effect. A guy dropping a basketball from a dam. Link will be in the description. Part 5, Coriolis effect explained. Airplanes and the Magnus effect on the flat Earth. For every good reason there is to lie, there is a better reason to tell the truth. Bo Bennett. How come airplanes are not affected by the Coriolis effect while in flight? Before we begin, let's recap the Coriolis effect. Here's the silly diagram from the controllers again, the official explanation of the Coriolis effect. The apparent deflection of a body in motion with respect to the Earth and caused by the rotation of the Earth. Deflecting right in the northern hemisphere and deflecting left in the southern hemisphere. This is how ridiculous the controller's models are. They say the Earth moves in 4 different speeds and 4 different directions of movements. However, they only take into account one for the asinine Coriolis effect. We will teach you how to think again. You have the most powerful weapon in the cosmos, your brain. I suggest you use it. Me, Brian Austin Lambert. Just a reminder, the Earth does not spin, rotate, or move. The Coriolis effect is an incorrect description of the deviated paths of objects in motion. Remember, the Earth is motionless, fixed, and stationary. The Holy Grail is a bowl, cup, or platter, whichever term you prefer. The Grail is the concave structure that confines your world. We will go into greater detail in future videos. Now back to the question, how come airplanes are not affected by the Coriolis effect while in flight? Again, the answer is simple, because airplanes do not spin. Airplanes do not experience any deviation in their expected path because the Magnus effect does not apply to things that do not spin. No spin equals no Magnus effect equals no deviation in expected path. Recap of the Magnus effect. Magnus effect, the force exerted on a rapidly spinning cylinder or sphere moving through air or another fluid in a direction at the angle to the axis of spin. The force is responsible for the swerving of balls when hit or thrown with spin. Simplicity, the key to understanding everything. Part 6, Coriolis effect explained. Hurricanes and magnetohydrodynamics on the flat Earth. Hurricanes, cyclones, and typhoons are just different names for cyclical storm systems depending on which part of the world they occur. Cyclical storms are caused by electromagnetism in a process called magnetohydrodynamics, and not by the Coriolis effect of a spinning Earth. The Earth does not spin, rotate, or move. It's motionless, fixed, and stationary. Here's a diagram of how storm systems move in the northern and southern hemisphere. Counterclockwise in the north, clockwise in the south. Everything from the North Pole to the equator is of one polarity or charge. And conversely, everything from the equator to the South Antarctic ring is of the opposite polarity or charge. One polarity or charge in the north, and the opposite polarity or charge in the south. In a future video, we will explain the true magnetic structure. Once again, theoretical science got it wrong. Again, remember what science really is, an experiment that is observable and repeatable. Theoretical science is not real science. It is a religious belief system. Real science, electromagnetism. Electromagnetism is the one true force in the cosmos. That is why you only have gadgets that are powered by electricity. Gravity and the others are bollocks. Don't worry, we will explain. Right-hand rule of electricity. Right-hand rule of electricity. Directional flow of electrical current determines direction of spin. Thumb points to direction of current flow, and fingers show the direction of spin. Magnetohydrodynamics, the behavior of an electrically conductive fluid, plasma, molten metals, water, acted on by a magnetic field. In the case of cyclical storms, the conductive liquid would be the salt water of the oceans. Electrical current flow in the polarity of the magnetic field determines rotational spin of storms, not the Coriolis effect. Sorry, Mr. Coriolis, you have been completely debunked. Another theoretical science model down the drain. Short video on how magnetohydrodynamics works and creates the correct spins for the storms on each side of the equator. Link will be in the description. Absolutely vital information to watch and understand can be found at this channel, Mr. Too Tough 2. Sub and watch his videos. I would highly recommend that you watch all of his videos about electricity. The other stuff we will get to and is must for seeing the whole picture of the truth. Part 7. The real meaning of the number 33 on the flat earth. So why am I doing a video about a number in this video series? Because some truthers have an irrational fear of everything at this point, for some very good reasons. I have gotten comments and messages about the number 33. So here is a real reason why 33 is the most important number to the controllers. It is the safest place to be on the flat plane when the catastrophe hits. 33 degrees north latitude. The black line represents the 33rd parallel on a regular map, even though we all know the surface of the Earth is flat. The area around 33 degrees north latitude is where most of the ancient civilization's ruins are located. The inhabitants of those areas were the majority of the survivors after the past catastrophes. Survivability was greater around the band, about 5 to 8 degrees on either side of the 33rd parallel. Almost everywhere else, the cities were completely obliterated with virtually no survivors and no remains whatsoever. I call it the Goldilocks zone because it is the safest area during the catastrophe. I can't show you yet why, because you still have to learn a whole lot more to understand the nature of the catastrophe. That is why the controllers have gone to war in Libya, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, and wanted to go to war in Iran. All of these nations are on or around the 33rd parallel. They are building bases, bunkers, and shelters to survive the catastrophe in these regions around the 33rd parallel and using war as the cover for their deception. In a future video, I will explain the science of why that area around the 33rd degree parallel is the safest place to be. Stay tuned, it is vital information for planning and preparing for the coming catastrophe. So I thought it would be a good time to address fear. If you have an irrational fear of a number, then this video series will most likely not be for you. Please feel free to leave at any time. I am trying to reach and warn people that are still rational in their thoughts. This video series is not fear porn or entertainment. If you watch YouTube videos to be scared or to be entertained, then this series is not for you. I am trying to get the truth out to people that have eyes to see and ears to hear. I will do a video on why people should not be afraid. The controllers want you afraid. If people are afraid, they can't think rationally. Rational thought is what the controllers are afraid of. So I'm here to help facilitate people in using their brains to think critically and rationally again. Now to the Masons, Illuminati, and other secret societies. The Masons and 33 degrees. It is their degree level in which a mind becomes unfrozen. Water is frozen at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. At 33 degrees, it becomes water and unfrozen. Do these secret societies use 33 as a secret code or something more sinister? It doesn't matter, and I could care less. They do not have the full truth, and they have lost their true history and wisdom. I have never been part of any secret organizations, societies, or clubs. I have absolutely nothing to hide. I am using my full real name in my channel. In an upcoming video, I will give my background to help calm some reservations about who I am. Why do I use 33 in my YouTube account name and elsewhere? Because it was my favorite number since I was a kid, and I'm not changing my favorite number because some people are afraid of it. People, it's just a number. 33 became my favorite number because Georgetown was my favorite college basketball team and Patrick Ewing was my favorite player. He wore 33, so I wanted to wear 33. That is how it became my favorite number and why I still use the number 33. No truther, controller, or anyone else will ever take my number away from me. So hence my love for the number 33. Just a boy who liked the number of his favorite player. If you think there is anything more than that, then I can't help you, and this video series will be of no help to you either. Plus, 33 just so happens to be the most beautiful number ever. I also like these other numbers: 1, 3, 11, 13, 31, 33, 111, 133, 214, 311, 333. Just in case anyone is afraid of colors, my favorite color is blue. If you are worried about my motives, ask yourself this question: when was the last time you voted? I have only voted one time in my life, 1992 presidential election for Ross Perot. Eligible to vote since 1989. I have never voted for a Republican or Democrat. I have been awake at various levels my entire life. I started questioning the system at 7 years old when I walked home from church. When I hear garbage being spewed, I walk away. So why am I revealing the truth on YouTube and making these series of videos with Mia? To clear my conscience. I know what is coming and no one else does, including the controllers. How could I not try telling everyone? Plus, Mia is super fun to work with. I will survive the coming catastrophe because I know exactly how it works. I need other decent people to survive and to help rebuild civilization better and kinder next time. Plus, I really don't want to be the only dude to survive. Then what would be the point? Ecclesiastes 1:17 through 18, King James Version. And I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. All videos are broken down by topics so you can reference back to them when needed. So many topics to cover, so we only have time to give you the answers and some examples. Homework will be required of you if you want to verify or dig deeper on an individual topic. This wisdom is for everyone. It is now your responsibility to share also. You must pass on what you will learn. Next video, part 8, Catastrophe Date, the only time it can happen on the flat earth. Please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.